this became a family business. It didn't start out that way.
There are 8 members of the family that are working for us.
Amazing.
Yeah, we call it nepotism at its finest.
Welcome back to NEMT Experts. I have got the Haubrick family with me. Jim, Lori, Dallas, and Maddie, who operate Servant's Heart in Arizona. Family, how you doing?
Hey.
Hey, doing awesome.
I'll just let you take it away. You've been running Servant's Heart in Arizona for quite some time. Can you all just tell me about the founding story and the journey of Servant's Heart up until today in a quick nutshell?
Yeah, real quick nutshell. We started this company almost 10 years ago. We'll be in July this coming year. And we've grown from 3 vehicles to now 12. And the family's getting more involved as we got bigger. And also we looking to retire. And so the kids were the ones saying, hey, we're going to step up and take care of the business. We've seen such a huge need for this in this area that we're in Prescott, Arizona. We go everywhere. We've gone all the way to New York with a client, but we mostly go from Phoenix to Prescott to Cottonwood to Kingman to Albuquerque. So we kind of go everywhere. A lot of miles on the vans.
Awesome. That's a pretty long distance, Arizona to New York.
Yep.
Tell me this. You started the company in July of
2016.
2000.
I bought it from another gentleman and changed the name.
Okay. So at the time that you bought the business, what was the state of the business?
Oh, it was in shambles. It was 3 vehicles that were in bankruptcy, and that was pretty much it. I had to get those vans back. And as a manager, I felt I could just manage anything really, and just saw the need of just helping people. So we started with 3 vehicles. And
Okay.
pretty much it.
So you started with the 3 vehicles that the company already owned. It was in shambles, and you said, hey, let's turn this thing around.
Yes.
What are some of the big immediate steps that you took to make it from shambles to not shambles?
Well, number 1 was changing the name to Servant's Heart to serve the community. We're a Christian-based company, and we felt like Jesus was washing the disciples' feet. We want to serve other people through this avenue of Servant's Heart. And from that, we basically started, like I said, meeting with all the different companies that the other company had and just said, hey, we're new. We kept their phone number because he already did the marketing for it. But we met with them one by one and just said, we're here in town to stay. And we kind of moved from that point.
And when you met with them one by one, the folks that you're meeting are different healthcare facilities.
Yes, and hospitals.
The business was working with.
Yes.
Okay. And how many facilities is that? Or was that at the time?
What would you guys say?
Dozens.
Dozens and dozens.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of in-home healthcare. There's hospices, there's hospitals,
Private care homes.
private care, yep, and private pay.
Okay. So you identified this need. You saw that this business was operating with 3 vehicles, probably stretched thin, serving dozens and dozens of healthcare facilities. What were these facilities doing before you expanded Servant's Heart to more vehicles and were able to provide more transportation? How were they keeping patients in and out?
Okay, there was another company that was in the area as well. Not sure how it was managed, whatever, but I felt that this is a retirement community and a lot of people were moving from California to here and just saw that it was going to be a big need. And like I said, from there, just started meeting with, like I said, the people and letting them know that we are not the other company. We are a new company and we're here to serve you whatever way we can.
Okay. Basically providing the kind of experience that's needed.
Yes, with excellence and safety. Absolutely.
Absolutely. So that was 9 years ago that you started this whole turnaround.
Yes.
Tell me this, from July 2016 to July of 2017, what did you do? What was the state of the company 1 year after you took it over?
Well, our first did not take a salary. I was doing another job. So I had 2 other employees and maybe 4 drivers that, like I said, was trying to integrate and meet with people and just say, we are the ones in town. We're still the same care facility in the sense of our vans and transport. It was, like I said, it took time. So from where we were in 17 to where we are now, I know I'm jumping a little bit. We've grown 750%. It's crazy.
750% growth.
Yeah. Yes.
I love it. Okay, family, I want to hear from you folks now. Lori, Dallas, Maddie, what have your roles been in the company? When did you step in?
Lori, go first.
I'll go first. I didn't really step in until about a year or so ago, and there was just a need for more help in the office. I had, when we started the company, I was already working outside, doing my, working with the school system and such. But about a year ago, there was just more need in the office for Maddie, who's the office manager, to have someone that could be there consistently and daily. And so I stepped into that role knowing that there'd be a transition period. I was there to just sort of cover the bases for her, to help her out for a season. And then just recently, our oldest daughter, Natalia, has stepped into a full-time role with Maddie, working side by side with her in the office. So I just had a little bit of time in there, but it was well worth it. I got to be with my family, be with my kids every day, and just loved it. Love helping people, love just hearing the stories that the drivers come back in with and stuff. So it's been cool for me, but I was also ready to step back out when the time came. So
I love that. It's a heartwarming business to be in because you get to help people every day. It sounds when you get to do it with the people you love. So I love it, Lori.
Exactly. Especially from Mama's heart. So it's great.
I'm Maddie. I started 7 or 8 years ago now. It was much slower back then. So I kind of got to grow with the business. So it doesn't seem so busy to me now because I've slowly gotten into that with it. I started out part-time and then eventually and it wasn't even supposed to be a permanent thing for me, and then just kind of fell in love with it. I'm in the office, so I'm on the other side. I'm not with clients, but I'm getting to talk to the facilities. I'm getting to talk to people, hear their stories, that sort of thing. So that's been really cool for me.
Nice.
And then Dallas, I've been here for 2 going on 3 years now. I do a lot of like the vehicle maintenance. I work a lot more like one-on-one with the drivers and such. I do a lot of the transports as well. Spend some time in the office, but not nearly as much as Maddie. And yeah, that's kind of my day-to-day, is just kind of helping keep things running that Maddie needs running.
This became a family business. It didn't start out that way.
Right.
It's not the typical thing I hear in these kinds of family business scenarios.
There are 8 members of the family that are working for us.
Amazing.
Yeah, we call it nepotism at its finest.
Do you have folks outside of the family running this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Quite a few.
We're I guess, like I said, we have grown, and the family, as even Dallas came on board, has seen the need, I guess, the servanthood, and also just the fact that it was growing, and just saw, hey, I love doing this. And then we started talking more about, let's turn this over to you guys. And my sister works for us. Our other daughter works for us. She's in the office right now answering the phones. And then we have about 18 employees, 18 to 20.
And Bambi joined your family about 10 months ago, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
What were you doing before that?
Maddie,
Maddie.
Before that, it was kind of a struggle for me. We would have sheets for every run of the day. We would have forms for them. And just to set up for the next day, I would have to lay out all the forms and look at individually which ones go together, who can do what. And some days it was really tough to try to fit them together. So Bambi really helped, especially in the run Bambi aspect, because now I don't have to think about all of that. Bambi thinks about it for me.
You don't have to think about it. Bambi thinks about it for you. Boom. Love it.
It makes it easy to see when drivers. It's been really nice for the drivers. Before we didn't have the drivers doing anything. They were just getting in the vans, and then we were tracking them, like their times and all that, by GPS. So it's kind of nice with the drivers getting to see like when they're actually going to start transporting somebody, and having it change different colors on Bambi. That's been really nice to make sure that they're going to make the next run on time. What else do you guys think?
I think you changing their rides.
Oh, yeah, switching things around is much easier now.
Because before we would have to take a picture of the fax, and then in the phone for the poor drivers, they would have faxes that they weren't even going to do because we changed them. We moved them to somewhere else. So by canceling the run in Bambi and putting a new one in there, they now not see the old ride that they were going to do.
Yes.
And
And
it
it
keeps
also,
everything current.
Yeah.
and it's very much streamlined for them, because on the faxes there was a lot of information that we use like for billing and stuff like that they didn't necessarily need to know. So with the software now, they're just seeing what they need to know, what equipment they need to bring, whether there's oxygen, stuff like that. It's just kind of the relevant information is what they're seeing. So it's a lot less confusing, it seems like, too.
Yeah.
I think the other aspect of Bambi, which I think is very, very helpful to us, we have different drivers that can handle different clients, and we're able to put in their abilities, if you will. They can handle 150 pounds. They can do a stretcher assist, but not a stretcher on their own. So when we do run Bambi Run, it knows enough information to say, well, they can't do that one. They can do this one. And it kind of populates that for us as well. I'm the kind of guy that will ask the next question. So when I was down in Phoenix and I was buying a chair from, I think we were buying a van. We were thinking of buying a van, and I walked by their people in there and say, hey, what are you guys doing in there? How do you guys schedule? Oh, Bambi. I'm like, what is Bambi? You know? And so why did you guys name it Bambi, first of all?
Better ambulance intelligence.
Okay.
So my co-founder, Charles, his mom thought of that. We didn't think people would make the connection, but we figured, hey, it's a short, cute name that nobody's going to forget, right? All these other software companies, they have two names mushed together, and you kind of forget what's what after a while. So,
Really?
Very cool.
Perfect.
Very cool. So when I had that and they told me that, I quickly called you, and you called back in 10 minutes. And when you said, I'm going to give you a little demonstration, I go, no, I want down cement. No, let me give you a little demonstration. The next morning I go, you guys got to watch this. You got to watch this.
Yep.
And it changed the whole company's life. So pretty cool.
Thanks.
run, Bambi, run. You guys work with so many facilities, right? You've grown this business organically over the 9 years, since you've taken over it. What have been some of the biggest mistakes and learnings that you've made over that time?
Our process before, having sheets, having like a piece of paper for every run, we would miss runs more often because they'd get paper clipped behind another one, or the paper didn't go where it was supposed to go, so it didn't get set up. I think that was something pretty big for us.
Yeah. One of the, like you said, building on what Maddie's saying, is one of the things we don't want to lose is a run. And there was that possibility more and more. And I'm a streamliner. I look at processes and just say, this isn't working, or why did we miss that run, or what have you. And by having, the old system, if you will, and not knowing there's another system out there, I was the one that kind of investigated this. I found it from another company down in Phoenix when I found about Bambi, was how do you guys schedule? Because one of the areas we're struggling with is the scheduling. Because as we were growing, Maddie's desk was getting covered by more and more faxes. And it was a huge struggle. There was just, sometimes Maddie would just say, I don't see it, guys. I don't understand who we're going to get for what. We're out of drivers. I think Dallas even said that one time. We were laying stuff out one time, and he goes, I don't know how we're going to do this. And when we hit Bambi Run Bam, it was like,
Done.
And 5 drivers was needed. So there's I guess if you want to call it the humanness of some of the process, that we were limited because we didn't have the abilities all the way as we were growing.
That, and I think too, just having that, like our point of contacts from the facilities, putting in information themselves kind of ensures that there's not miscommunication. Because we'd be hearing stuff over the phone, maybe they misset an address, something like that. Now they're going back through it and inputting it on their own. And so it really takes the burden of like the fact finding and stuff out of the situation for us too. We're not having to double check every address to make sure it exists, because if it exists, it's in Bambi's GPS system and it just works.
Yeah, I'm kind of going off of like what Dallas said, is we would basically sometimes we said, I don't want to fill that fax out. You guys need to fill it out for me. And we would have to fill it out while we're taking another call or seeing another fax. And it just became a possibility of a failure, and now we have, I think one of the goals was to get, I think 80 to 90% of the people going on to Bambi through our website to fill out the forms for us. And then they call
Bambi facility user feature where you
yes.
log in. So
Yeah.
funnily enough, I'm actually in your Bambi account now. I have it open and I see a facility user just put in a request for this afternoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
All day
happens
long.
all day long.
And that's one of the things. There are those situations where a nurse calls us over at night or over the weekend. I'm not near a computer. Could you guys just take this? And we do, but we're not going to necessarily get to 100%. But if we can get to 80, 85%, that just streamlines it all the more.
Mhm.
So they could go onto the website if we push them, because it's, hey, go into your phone, go under our website, blah, 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 figure it out. So we do try to push that for the user to take onus on what they're doing.
And how has adoption of that been among the facilities you work with since you've rolled it out?
At first, it was just a change of process. So it was a little slow going for the first couple of weeks. But once people started using it, I don't think any of the facilities would go back to doing the old, like, print out a fact sheet, fax it over to us, that system. I think they all love it. They also like to be able to use the map feature on there to see where our drivers are. Because like I said, we do a lot of transports coming up from Phoenix or Kingman. So the driver's, 2 hours away when they pick up. And it gives the facility a heads up. Hey, this person's 10 minutes down the road. Let's make sure the room's ready. Let's make sure we've got staff to help transfer, stuff like that. So I don't think we'd have a single facility who doesn't like it and who doesn't utilize it. It's been very popular for us.
Mhm.
Awesome. Tell me about the kind of transports you do. You do wheelchair? Do you do any stretcher or gurney?
Yeah, we do a lot of stretcher. I think that's one of the biggest need, these facilities, because they have their own van. And a lot of times they don't do, a lot of drivers come and go, if you will, at the facilities. And for them to do a wheelchair or an ambulatory, it's kind of a no big deal for them. But to train someone on a stretcher and to be able to transfer, we call it door-through-door service, where we can go literally into the hospital, pull them across from the hospital bed to the stretcher, and then from the stretcher go to the facility and help them move them into the bed. So that has been, I would say, 50 to 60% of our runs are stretchers. We have 4 to 5 stretchers going all day long.
All day long, 4 to 5 stretchers.
Private pay as well.
Private pay, facility pay,
Ambulatories.
Brokers.
yeah, brokers. There's a lot of have been hearing about us from the poor transportation companies in their area. So they found out who we were. And so when someone has a workman's comp issue, they call us and say, hey, this driver that you sent us, they really like that person. We'd like to keep using you. So the word keeps getting out from customer service. And I relate customer service back to efficiencies. If we're efficient, if we get on time, and our drivers are pretty much 5 to 10 minutes early all the time, you can't go wrong.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong.
That's the kind of growth I like. No salespeople, just good customer experience.
We don't do any marketing.
Spreads.
Yeah, we don't do much marketing at all. Our marketing is our drivers.
Exactly. I love it. Our marketing is our customers.
There you go.
Tell me about these long distance transports that you do across the country, like to New York. How often does that happen?
It doesn't happen that often. I'm going to say 5 to 3%, but we do kind of work with Flagstaff Medical because they're a trauma center in Arizona. They have a lot of situations where we got to go out to the reservation or we got to go to Albuquerque. Those type, they'll even call us because they know we'll do long distance. Hey, can you guys go to California? Can you go? So those happen within that 5%. The one to New York we teamed up with because we had a situation where one of our clients was a longtime client with the old company, and we kind of kept going with him and became friends with him. He's never seen his grandson. And I said, well, why don't you see your grandson? He goes, I'm in a chair. I have a pump in my back. I can't go see him. I said, let's take you there. Where's he at? So we did it through pro bono. We took him all the way to North Carolina. Took 11 days. And it was just loving on this family that, he's in a bad situation. And we just became friends with him. From that story, Good Samaritan called us and said, we know you went to North Carolina. There's a lady that her husband has passed away. She has no relatives. Could you guys get her to New York? And we said, we'll do whatever it takes. And so when those situations come up, we just do them and we try to make it work whatever way we can. We had another situation where Air Ambulance called us. I'm not sure how they found us, maybe through Google, but they said, hey, do you do stretchers to airports? I said, we'll do whatever. So what are you talking about? Well, we need to have a client that we need to go to Sedona and bring them to the airport. And then they were going to be jetted to Orange County, California. And we went right on the tarmac, put the person right in the plane. And they said, hey, we need to have some long distance driving solutions rather than just a jet. So we became their possibility of land, if you will, transports. So we get those every now and then. So those are the long distance ones.
That is incredible. like in this first story, 11 days all the way to North Carolina.
Yeah. And back. Yeah.
Your existing vehicles.
Yeah. Yes. So
I mean,
again, we're very blessed. And when I want to say the Christian organization that we just see the hand of God on all of it, because when we do something like that, it's just ministering to these families and they just loving on them and they just can't believe we've done that. And by doing those type of situations is, like you said, the marketing, they tell 11 more people, they tell 12 more people of what Servant's Heart did for them. So we see that, I don't know.
And over.
Yeah, we just see that giving back to the community as just a blessing and also a marketing that we do.
That is amazing. That is heartwarming, incredible, and probably really difficult to do, like across the country in just one of your standard vehicles for one of your drivers.
Yes, and the gentleman had to have a Hoyer lift, so we had the Hoyer lift behind him with his wheelchair, electric wheelchair, and his wife. And they wanted to see his sister, wanted to see his grandson. And then on the way back, they wanted to go to the caverns. She's never been to the caverns. And we said, we can make that happen. And it was just, I took my manager of the, if you will, the kind of what Maddie was doing back then. He was our office person and said, you take him and we'll have someone else fill in your position. So we kind of make it happen with the staff that we know we can afford, if you will, but we knew it was going to be a long time. And Dallas keeps these vehicles going. We have one van that's 560,000 miles on it, and it's crazy. It's still running, and we use it all the time.
Yeah.
Amazing. Nice work, Dallas.
Yeah.
So right now you're operating with roughly how many vehicles?
Well, 9 vans, 2 Priuses, maybe one more. I don't know if there's
No,
10
that's where
vans.
we're at. Right
Yeah,
now.
11
Yep.
vehicles.
Yep.
We bought 4 vehicles within the last year. because the need has been growing so much, and we were running out of vehicles. Because I was at the post office and I was just picking up our mail, and the guy knocked on my window and said, "Hey, I have a van for sale." And I said, "No, these are special. You have to haul out the back. They're all Dodge Caravans. You push them up manually in the back." And I said, "Well, let me see your van." And he showed me the van. And usually these vans are anywhere from $22,000 to $32,000 used, within 2 or 3 years. And he said, "I'm going to sell for $8,000. Okay, where do I sign?" So that is one van that came in. Dallas got a call just 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. Guy was going out of business, and he just said, "Hey, we're just calling all these different companies and saying we have a bunch of vehicles and we're selling what are you selling it for?" And he was selling it for $20,000. And we said, we need another van. So we're not really searching sometimes for them.
They just come
We
our
have
way.
found some dealerships that we know of, but when we see, when we see a need come in, or someone that is showing us that, hey, we can get this at less cost for the van, we get them. So we had a taxi company come into my office and say, "Hey, we're closing our doors Saturday," and they had 16 Priuses and a van, and we got the van and the 2 Priuses for $18,000. So that was crazy. So it's, again, I almost say it's God driven, and we never knew we were going to use Priuses. Our Priuses have almost 300,000 miles on them, and we use them for ambulatory all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just coinciding that at the time that you need more vehicles to service more business, you're finding these great deals.
Yes.
Yeah.
And in Bambi, when we first started using you, I think we were putting in 5 vehicles or only 6 vehicles and seeing how it'd work. And when we were starting to see that there was a lot of needs, like at 10 a.m. in the morning, there was 7 runs. Well, you can't do that in Bambi unless you call them, but these guys got appointments. We would have to add a vehicle and add another vehicle. So we're adding more. So I think we run off of 8 vehicles a day, at least in Bambi?
10.
10. Mm-hmm. So we put that all in there now and just say run, because we want to meet the needs of these facilities, because we're pretty much the only game in town right now. The other company went under, and there's another small company, but as the need keeps growing, because there's a lot, like I said, the population here has grown over 10,000. We're just seeing it's going to be more and more.
So all these retirees just keep coming into your area in Arizona, and the facilities are just, hey, you guys are the ones that provide the best experience. That's why you've grown so much all these years. Put more work on you.
Yeah, and just as much as we praise Bambi, the facilities praise us. They said, "Hey, just call Servants Heart. They'll take care of you." And that type of customer service that you guys have done, and looking at some of the software that we need to modify, you look at what you can do to help us. It helps us serve the customers even more.
I love that. You've put yourself in this position where you've done the hard work. You've built a platform that provides excellent service. And now the growth is just comes to you.
It does.
Just keep doing what you're doing.
And Bambi has really, really helped us with being able to stay on top of that, on top of the curve. So, kudos to you for this amazing software, because it's been a game changer for sure. There are different aspects that we use more of than others within Bambi, but it's definitely made a difference for us as far as organization, being able to stay on top of things. It's reduced Maddie's stress level. And, that we still have to tweak things every now and again once we've run Bambi, but it's made it so much simpler. Everybody in the office can see what's going on. We were able to take Bambi with us when we went to Yosemite as a family, and left 2 fairly inexperienced women in the office to handle things. Yeah. But because we were able to see everything in real time, we were able to assist them, and it really went off seamlessly.
And enjoy Yosemite at the time.
At the same time. Yeah. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
Couldn't have done it without Bambi. Could not have done it without Bambi.
I love that. I'm just imagining a Bambi dispatch screen in front of El Capitan. And
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
that actually happened.
Yeah.
Yes.
Totally.
Yep.
It was a good trial for us to say if we were going to do this again, or Maddie is with child, and so if she's going to take some time off, can she do it at home?
Yeah.
And that type of thing, because she's going to have her needs with her new baby. And it's like, yes, it can be done, and you can run this remotely pretty much from anywhere.
Well, this segues into the transition. So Lori and Jim, you folks are stepping down in the near future and handing everything off to Dallas and Maddie. Is that right?
Yeah, been in that process
we've
for
been,
a
yeah.
couple years now.
We pretty much have let them be. We don't really even ask them how the day's going, in the sense of, you need our help tomorrow or anything like that. They said, well, if we need you, we'll call you. So they have taken over, and I kind of look at what's happening here. It was basically 1.5 persons back when. Now you're looking at 4, and also our other daughters in the office. That is a part of the nucleus of Servant's Heart. So us to step away, as a matter of fact, this coming Monday, next Monday, we're going to be down in Phoenix in our RV, enjoying a park for a month. And all they'll just do is talk to them. How's your day going? And love you guys. Thank you for very much. So we're enjoying ourselves.
All right. Well, the new owners of the business, Dallas and Maddie, where do you see the business going in 5 years from now?
It's hard to say because we didn't expect it to grow the way that it has. So
Yeah, I think the growth will be crazy. I mean, like we were talking about, 4 vans this year, probably added 5 drivers this year. We're still looking for more drivers because we still have more work than we can really handle some days. A lot of times we're having to push people off because we could just use more vehicles and more drivers. So I think that hopefully that growth trend just keeps happening.
Yeah.
Hopefully the reputation stays where it's at, and we just continue to have great drivers that go out there and kind of share with people and love on people and keep being our marketing.
yeah.
Are there any pearls of wisdom that you would give to someone who's maybe taking over an NEMT business or thinking of taking over one or starting one to try to be successful the way you have? And obviously there's the obvious things about provide good service and whatnot, but any sort of non-intuitive things or hidden gems of wisdom?
Make sure you have a good accountant, good someone behind the scenes helping you with all of the smaller details. And
I think from the very get-go, you have to start it with like selflessness and love. I mean, that you really have to love on these people more than you're interested in the business side of it. That's what ends up making you a successful business, is the people you surround yourself with and how you care for those that are kind of under your charge at that moment. There really is nothing like it. I mean, we make impacts on so many people's lives every day. And when you sit back and think about it, sometimes it's just kind of amazing that we open doors for people who are no longer able to get out of their own homes, no longer able to go out with friends and family and stuff like that. And we can kind of be that access point. And a lot of times the first like kind face or good conversation they've had in weeks. I think that's where it all has to start. You have to have the right heart for it, because it's not always easy and it's not always fun. You find yourself in some interesting situations or some bad situations, sad situations sometimes. But if you're going into it with that right mindset, and you've got that type of heart, I think you'll do pretty well regardless.
And I'm gonna say the obvious is Bambi. Have something that you can be organized in your office, because it helps us with invoicing, it helps us with tracking payroll. It's all of those features that we have encompassed, if you will. It's not just one thing, it's done for us. So finding that was huge.
We notice all the little changes that get made all the time. I mean, even recently, we all, at the end of our day, before the next day, we call all the facilities and just confirm all their transports with them, make sure nothing's changed, times haven't changed, anything like that. And it's so helpful that you guys just brought out that one section in there under trips that says the date it was input by the facility, because we won't necessarily, we'd have to go through them one by one 2 months ago and see what day they were put in to make sure we needed to call it wasn't put in that day. But now that you guys change little things all the time that make things so much easier.
Yeah.
even like now at the you put your cursor over the driver's name at the top, it shows their phone number, so you don't have to go like look through contact lists and stuff like that. It's made it easier for our people who aren't in the office as often to be able to access and use it as well, which is pretty cool.
Glad you're noticing these. I mean, we just hear from our customers. They ask us for things and we're like, oh, okay, that's what people want. So we build it in.
Totally. Yeah.
And the cool thing is, as Lori and I retire, we got the youth here that will notice those things and look at those things. Her and I will just go, just keep doing Bambi, run Bambi.
Yeah. Well, the other cool one that you guys did just recently too was on that trips menu, or no, not on the trips menu, on the main dispatch page, you guys added the option to clone the run, because a lot of times we'll have drivers go meet at a residence or something like that. And you used to have to go through trips, then go hit clone, then do it. But now just being able to do it right on that dashboard page without having to search and all that is so much easier. So your guys' improvements definitely are pretty spot on.
Well, and they're also being noticed by a guy that is constantly looking. He's very logical. So when he looks at things, he's like, hey, I just noticed this. I just noticed this. So
can I say something? It goes back to what Jimmy just said. This is the first I heard of that.
Same
I've still been doing the trips, cloning, going back. I didn't even know.
and that's why she's getting out of the office.
That's why I've been booted.
Yeah.
But it's cool to work with a company that's so like proactive with the software. Because
Yes,
some of them, it's just stagnant. They make it and it just stays. You guys are constantly improving and constantly like making it easier and better for us, which I mean we couldn't be
Reading
more
our
appreciative of.
minds.
But I think that building off of what Dallas says, you don't find drivers that are just looking for a paycheck. You're looking for a driver that really wants to serve. I would say at least 50%, maybe even more of our drivers are retiree guys that want to get out of the house. Their wives want them out of the house, or they're looking to serve other people. And those are the people you need and want. If you get that, that's 90% of your battle, because they love that. Literally our drivers will go into a facility, drop someone off, and then go visit the other person in their other room that they brought the other day before that and say hi to them. You know, it's just, that heart is huge. And that's, again, what comes back to servant's heart. So
I love that. You know, this is not to be underestimated. This is not an easy business to do. You know, people oftentimes they see, oh, okay, there's a business opportunity. Let me go do this. But it's really the people who get into it for the right reasons are the ones that I find their businesses have longevity, and they're the ones who succeed in the long run. So I love, Jim, that you mentioned one of the key turnaround points was changing the name of the company, because there's a lot more than just letters. It really means something, servant's heart. And I wish you all the best of success as you go forward, but I don't think you're going to need any good luck from me, because you've already got it.
we could use your prayers for more drivers.
Yeah.
Run, Bambi, run.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you very much.